In ancient Persia, King Xerxes ruled an enormous empire stretching from India to Ethiopia. The capital was Susa, where the king had a magnificent palace. King Xerxes, during a grand celebration for 180 days, flaunted his kingdom's wealth, and now he hosts a week-long feast for all the people in Susa. Meanwhile, Queen Vashti, his beautiful wife, holds her own feast for the women of the palace. The king, intoxicated by wine and a desire to show off his queen's beauty, sends for her. But Vashti, bold and defiant, refuses to come.
How dare she? This is an insult before my entire court.
Your Majesty, if this disrespect is tolerated, other women may rebel against their husbands. This cannot stand.
To set an example, Vashti is deposed as queen, and Xerxes orders a search for a new queen. The king's officials search the kingdom for young women to be presented to the king. Among those chosen is a beautiful Jewish girl named Esther. Raised by her cousin Mordecai, she is both wise and graceful, yet she keeps her Jewish heritage a secret on Mordecai's advice. Esther is brought to the king's palace, where she undergoes a year of beauty treatments, preparing for her royal introduction. Despite her humility, her beauty and grace stand out among the other women.
If this is God's plan, may He give me the courage to face whatever lies ahead.
After meeting Esther, King Xerxes is captivated by her charm and kindness. He crowns her as the new queen, unknowingly elevating a Jewish girl to one of the highest positions in the kingdom.
I have found a woman unlike any other. Her gentleness soothes my soul.
But meanwhile, an enemy stirs within the court. Haman, a royal official, rises to power and commands all to bow before him. Mordecai, a Jew, refuses out of loyalty to God. Humiliated and furious, Haman conceives a deadly plan. Learning Mordecai's people are Jews, he deceives the king into issuing a decree for their extermination across the empire. The date is set and the Jews are thrown into despair.
The Jews are a threat to this kingdom. They follow their own laws separate from ours. I will persuade the king to rid us of them.
But many Jews live throughout the empire, my lord. How will you convince the king?
With silver and lies. I will tell him they plot against the kingdom.
Haman approached the king, offering a great sum of silver in exchange for the decree. Trusting Haman's words, the king issued a decree to annihilate the Jews. When Mordecai learned of the decree, he tore his clothes, covering himself in ashes. The Jews of Persia mourned, fasting and praying for deliverance. Mordecai sent a message to Esther, urging her to approach the king and plead for her people's lives.
Do not think that because you are in the king's palace you alone will escape. If you remain silent, deliverance will arise from another place, but you and your family will perish. Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?
Tell Mordecai to gather all the Jews of Susa. Please fast for me for 3 days. I will go to the king though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish.
After 3 days, Esther donned her royal robes and approached the throne room. Esther knows appearing before the king uninvited could mean her death, unless the king extended his golden scepter. Yet Mordecai's words echo in her heart. She took a deep breath and stepped forward. To her relief, the king extends his golden scepter, welcoming her presence. Esther doesn't reveal her request immediately. Instead, she invites the king and Haman to 2 banquets, subtly setting the stage to expose Haman's treachery.
Esther, what is it you desire? Even half my kingdom, it shall be yours.
Please attend another banquet tomorrow. Then I shall reveal my request.
Haman, pleased by his exclusive invitation, swells with pride. However, he is furious that Mordecai still refuses to bow and has gallows constructed, intending to execute him. That night, the king is restless and requests the royal chronicles. He is reminded of Mordecai's past loyalty in saving him from an assassination plot.
Has anything been done to honor this man, Mordecai?
Nothing, your majesty.
The next morning, Haman is summoned. Expecting a reward for himself, he is horrified when the king orders him to honor Mordecai publicly. Mordecai is honored with royal robes and a parade through the city. Haman's humiliation grows, yet he knows nothing of what awaits him. At the second banquet, Esther seizes the moment to reveal Haman's plot.
Your Majesty, my people and I are condemned to death. This wicked Haman is the man behind it.
Haman, how dare you threaten my queen and her people?
The king storms out in anger and Haman, now terrified, falls at Esther's feet, pleading for his life. But it's too late. The king orders Haman to be hanged on the very gallows he built for Mordecai. Though Haman is dead, the decree cannot be revoked. In a bold move, the king issues a new edict allowing the Jews to defend themselves on the appointed day. Across the kingdom, they triumph over their enemies.
God has delivered us, and we shall celebrate his salvation every year.
May this victory remind us of the power of faith and courage.
The Jewish people established the festival of Purim, commemorating Esther's bravery and God's deliverance from their foes. Esther remains beloved, a queen who used her voice to save her people. Esther's legacy endures as a story of courage and purpose. Though she was a hidden figure in the king's palace, her faith shone brightly in the hour of greatest need.